Do you ever stand at a party holding your drink and freeze because you have no idea what to say to the stranger right next to you?
If that's you, you are not alone. And here's the surprising part. The problem is not your personality. It's a tiny mental habit you can switch off in seconds.
Today, we'll give you the exact 4 words that make anyone open up, the secret way to escape a boring chat without being rude, and one calm trick that stops you from saying things you regret. And you'll learn 5 powerful English words while we do it. So stay with us.
But first, hello everyone. Welcome to Perspective Peak. I'm Mia.
And I'm Leo. Welcome back, Peak Performers. Here at Perspective Peak, our goal is simple: to help you build winning habits, master your productivity, and level up your English listening skills all at the same time.
And Leo, I have to be honest, this week's topic is a little bit personal for me. Because for years, I was the queen of awkward conversations.
No way. You talk to everyone.
Now I do, but it took work. So today, we are diving into the psychology of small talk, how to feel calm, curious, and connected when you talk to people, instead of scared.
And the beautiful part is, this skill connects to everything we love here. Better conversations means more confidence, less procrastination, and yes, way more courage to speak English out loud.
Exactly. And if you're learning English, relax. We're keeping the language friendly and clear, B1 level, but we'll add some powerful new words too, and we'll always explain them right away. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's climb to the peak together.
All right, Mia, let's start with the big question. When people say small talk, what does it actually mean? Because honestly, the name sounds unimportant.
Right? The name is misleading, but here's a fresh perspective. Small talk is not small at all. It's the doorway. Think of it like the front door of a house. Before anyone invites you into the warm living room, the deeper, real conversations, you have to knock politely first. Small talk is that knock.
Oh, I like that. So, how's your day and nice weather? That's just us saying, hey, I'm friendly, I'm safe. I know how this works.
Yes. Researchers have found that even short, simple chats give people a real mood boost. And here's the surprising part. People enjoy small talk more than they expect to. We dread it before, but afterward, we feel good. So the real problem is not the talk, it's how we think about it.
Okay, so how should we think about it?
Most people treat a conversation like a quiz they could fail. Every answer is graded, and one wrong move means you lose. But here's a kinder picture. Imagine 2 people in a small rowing boat. If only one person paddles, the boat just spins in a circle. But when you both pull your oars in rhythm, the boat glides forward smoothly. A conversation is the same. You're not testing each other, you're rowing together.
Oh, that completely changes things. It's not me versus them, we're in the same boat, literally.
Literally, it's us against the silence, not us against each other. So let's break this down with real stories, real science, and a step-by-step plan you can use tomorrow.
Let's do it. And I want to start right where my last disaster happened. Picture me at a work event last Tuesday, a networking night. Lots of people in nice clothes, lots of small talk. I walked in and instantly my heart was pounding, my hands were a little sweaty, and this voice in my head kept whispering, "Everyone is looking at you. Everyone thinks you're awkward."
Oh, that inner voice is so loud, isn't it? So what did you do?
I sighed. I monitored myself every single second. Am I standing weird? Was that laugh too loud? Why did I say nice weather twice? I was so busy watching myself that I couldn't actually listen to anyone. A friendly woman named Priya asked me, "So, how do you know the host?" And I just said, "Oh, work things." Work things. What does that even mean? She smiled politely and walked away.
Work things. Oh, Leo, I want to hug you and shake you at the same time.
I deserve both. And the worst part was, on the drive home, My brain put the whole scene on repeat. Ugh, why did I freeze like that? They must think I'm so strange. That little judge in my head wouldn't be quiet all night.
Leo, what you just described has a name in psychology. It's called the spotlight effect. Let me explain it simply. Imagine you're an actor on a stage and there's one bright spotlight following your every move. That's how it feels inside our heads, like everyone is watching us closely, ready to judge. But here's the science. That spotlight is mostly in your imagination. In reality, the other people are busy worrying about their own spotlight.
Wait, really? So while I was panicking about looking awkward, Priya was maybe panicking too?
Almost certainly. Studies show we massively overestimate how much others notice and judge us. The truth is, most people are far too busy thinking about themselves to critique you. And here's the magic key. You can dim that painful spotlight by pointing your attention outward. Stop auditioning for approval and just get genuinely curious about the person in front of you.
Okay, quick breather because my brain is already growing. So you're telling me the cure for my fear is to basically forget about myself and become a curious little detective?
That's it, exactly. A curious detective, not a nervous performer. And here's why it matters for our channel. The same fear that freezes you in a conversation is the fear that makes you procrastinate on speaking English. We avoid the scary thing because we imagine harsh judgment. But once you turn the spotlight off yourself and onto curiosity, the pressure drops and suddenly you can act. The lesson? Confidence isn't being perfect. It's removing the fear that blocks you.
So we just learned to turn the spotlight off ourselves, but once we're calm and curious, we still have to actually say something, right? That's where I usually mess up.
Perfect bridge, because that's exactly my disaster story. Picture me about 3 years ago at my friend Sophia's birthday dinner. I was seated next to a man named Daniel. Total stranger, and I was determined to be a good conversation partner. So I started firing questions like a robot. What do you do? Where are you from? How long have you lived here? One after another, like a job interview.
Oh no, the interrogation method.
Exactly. And poor Daniel gave me one-word answers. Accountant, Berlin, 2 years. The conversation was technically happening, but it felt flat and cold. After 5 minutes, we both just stared at our plates and ate our soup in silence.
But wait, you were asking questions. Isn't that the advice everyone gives?
That's the trap. The problem wasn't the number of questions, it was the type. My questions only collected facts. They didn't build any momentum. Confident conversationalists don't ask more questions, they ask better ones, questions that invite a story. And then this is the part most people miss. They stay with the answer. They pick up one little thread and pull it gently.
Give me an example. What should you have asked Daniel?
So instead of, "What do you do?" I could have stayed with his answer and said, "Oh, an accountant? What part of your work do you actually enjoy the most?" My grandmother taught me a trick for this. She was the warmest person at any party, and she had one tiny habit. Whenever someone spoke, she would pause, nod, and gently say, "Ooh, and then what happened?" 4 little words. They hand the other person an open door, and they buy you a calm moment to relax and connect.
Oh, and then what happened? That's so simple it almost feels like cheating.
The best tools usually are. And here's the science. There's a skill called paraphrasing. That's a B2 word, meaning you repeat the main idea of what someone said, but in your own words. When you paraphrase, your brain is forced to slow down and listen carefully, instead of rehearsing your next line. It tells the person, "I heard you."
But why does our brain rush to rehearse instead of just listening?
Great question. It's something called cognitive load. Basically, how much your brain is juggling at one time. When you're nervous, half your brain is panicking, "What do I say next?" So you only catch the surface of what the person says. Paraphrasing is like clearing your messy desk before you start working. It empties the panic so you can focus on one thing, truly understanding them.
Okay, breather. I love that messy desk picture because my desk right now has 3 cups of coffee on it. So clearing the desk in my head sounds very, very necessary.
We'll get you a clean desk yet, Leo. And the lesson here is golden. Listening is a habit, and it's a productivity superpower. In English learning, the people who improve fastest are the deep listeners, the ones who absorb what they hear instead of just waiting to speak.
You know, listeners, Mia just shared her secret weapon, but I have to warn you about something coming up later. Near the end of today's episode, I'm going to confess the most embarrassing thing I've ever done at a wedding. I literally ran away from a kind old man. And Mia's going to teach you the exact polite words that would have saved me. So keep listening because that escape trick is pure gold.
Oh, I cannot wait to roast you for that one, Leo. But hold that thought, because before we escape conversations, we have to survive the scary moments inside them. And that's your second confession, isn't it?
It is, and it's embarrassing. A few months ago, I was in a meeting, and my manager, Clara, asked me a direct question in front of 8 people. Leo, what do you think about the new schedule? And I panicked. I felt like I had to answer in half a second because silence felt dangerous. So I blurted out, yeah, it's great, totally fine, love it, without even thinking.
And did you actually love it?
Oh, no, I hated it. The new schedule moved my best work hours to the afternoon. But because I rushed, I agreed to something I didn't mean. I spent the next 3 weeks quietly regretting those 5 fast words.
Oh, Leo, that's so common. And there's real psychology here. Many of us believe that speed equals competence, that answering fast makes us look smart. But research on communication shows the opposite. People who allow a short pause before responding are seen as more confident, more thoughtful, and more in control. The pause signals composure. That's a B2 word meaning calmness under pressure.
Composure, okay. But Mia, isn't a pause awkward? Won't people think I'm lost?
That's the fear, but think of it like a chef tasting the soup before serving it. That extra second isn't hesitation, it's care. Inside your head, you can quietly repeat the question. So you're asking how I feel about the afternoon shift. That tiny moment slows your racing thoughts and lets you give an answer you actually mean. And here's the secret. The pause feels 10 times longer to you than it does to them.
Wait, really? So my scary 3-second silence is basically invisible to everyone else?
Pretty much. The spotlight effect again, sneaking back in.
Okay, I need a breather after that because honestly, the idea that my big dramatic silence is invisible is both relaxing and a little insulting to my ego.
Your ego will recover, I promise. And the lesson is pure gold for habits. The people who pause before reacting, before sending the angry message, before saying yes to extra work, before quitting the hard task, those people build better lives. A pause is a tiny gap where your wiser self gets to speak.
So we learn to slow down before we answer. But what about when it's finally our turn to talk a lot and we say way too much? Because Mia, that's kinda your specialty.
Okay, guilty as charged. Let me tell you about my big presentation last year. I had to explain one simple idea to my whole team. Just one. The idea was, we should move our meetings to Monday. That's it. One sentence. But I was nervous, so I built a whole machine around it.
What do you mean a machine?
I said, well, Mondays are interesting because historically people have more energy, and also there was this study, and also my old company did it differently, and also it depends on the team, but maybe, possibly, if we wanted to. After 4 minutes, my teammate Tom said, Mia, so Monday? And I just said, yes, Monday. Everyone laughed.
So you handed them a tiny gift buried under a mountain of wrapping paper.
That's exactly it, Leo. When we feel uncomfortable, we wrap our one small idea in a flood of extra words, hoping something sounds smart. But here's the science. Over-explaining doesn't make you clearer, it makes you sound uncertain. Confidence isn't about the volume of words, it's about precision. The people who stop one sentence early while their point is still sharp are the ones who truly land.
So, how do we fix the overwrapping habit?
One word, structure. Now, I know that sounds boring, but stay with me. Structure isn't a boring list of bullet points, it's a clear path, like a recipe or a map that guides the listener from start to finish. My favorite is 3 tiny questions. What? So what? Now what? The what is your idea, the so what is why it matters to them, the now what is the next step. Short, clean, and it stops you from rambling.
Wait, structure and spontaneous talking? Those seem like opposites.
I know, right? But think about jazz music. Jazz sounds free and unplanned, but underneath, the musicians are following patterns and chords. The structure is what sets them free.
Okay, quick breather. I just love that even jazz, the most free music in the world, secretly has rules. That makes my organized little heart very happy.
Right? Structure is freedom. And the lesson? Concision is a habit you train. The more you practice saying things in fewer, clearer words, the more confident you sound. In meetings, in English class, everywhere.
All right, we've learned to relax, to listen, to pause, and to speak clearly. But now, finally, it's time for the moment I promised you. The wedding, my most embarrassing exit ever.
Yes, I've been waiting the whole episode for this. Confess, Leo.
So, last summer, I was at a wedding talking to a lovely older gentleman named Frank for what felt like an hour. Frank was telling me about his stamp collection, every single stamp, and I wanted to leave, but I didn't know how. So I did the cowardly thing. I said, I need to use the bathroom, and I basically ran away.
The bathroom excuse. The classic emergency exit.
But it felt so fake and rude. Frank probably knew. I felt guilty all night.
Here's a much kinder method. I call it the gentle landing. Think of a pilot bringing a plane down. They don't just drop it onto the runway from the sky. They slowly lower it, smooth and steady, so nobody feels the bump. You can land a conversation the same way. As things wind down, you gently say you need to go, but then you give one last gift, one final question or warm comment. So with Frank, you could have said, I need to go say hi to some friends in a moment. But before I do, which stamp in your whole collection is your absolute favorite?
Oh, that's so much warmer. You leave, but you leave a good feeling behind. That's the escape trick I promised you all, and honestly, it's better than I remembered.
And there's something deeper here too. It's about reading the room. Every social moment has its own energy. A wedding expects conversation. A quiet elevator does not. A wise conversationalist notices the environment and matches it.
How do you actually know when a conversation has ended? How do you feel it?
Good question, and there are gentle signals. The answers get shorter, the energy drops, you both start glancing around the room. Researchers actually find that people give shorter replies when they're ready to finish. So instead of forcing it, you honor it. You begin your gentle landing and leave warmly.
Okay, last breather. I'm just relieved that running to the bathroom is officially retired. Frank, if you're somehow watching this, I'm so sorry, buddy.
Frank forgives you, Leo. And the lesson for growth? Knowing when to stop is a skill. In conversations, in work tasks, even in study sessions, pushing past the natural end only creates that tired, awkward feeling. Ending well is part of doing well.
Wow, okay, my brain is full of new ideas. But Mia, I have to be honest. Sometimes I hear 5 great tips and then forget all of them the moment I'm actually nervous.
Oh, that's so real. That's exactly why we turn ideas into small steps. A big idea is hard to remember. a tiny habit is easy to repeat. So let's build something you can carry in your pocket. Our step-by-step action plan. 4 steps. Ready?
Ready.
Step 1. Turn the spotlight outward. Before you walk into any social moment, repeat your own reminder. I'm here to discover them, not to impress them. This works because the spotlight effect tricks your brain into thinking you're being judged, and that fear locks you up. By choosing genuine curiosity, you redirect your nervous energy onto the other person. For example, instead of preparing a clever joke, prepare a curious question about where you are, the food, the music, the event itself. The common mistake here is faking interest. People can feel it instantly. So be truly curious about one real thing, even a tiny detail, and let that be enough.
Love it. Step 2?
Step 2, pull the thread and listen. When someone answers you, don't jump to a brand new topic. Pick one interesting word from their answer and explore it. Or simply ask, and then what happened? This works because it builds momentum and makes the other person feel truly heard, which is the foundation of connection. For example, if they say, I just got back from Italy, don't ask, and what's your job? Instead say, Italy, what surprised you the most about it? The common mistake is interrogating, firing fact questions like a robot. So slow down, stay with their answer, and let curiosity lead you deeper.
Step 3, please.
Step 3, pause before you respond. Give yourself one slow breath before you answer, especially when you feel pressure to speak fast. This works because a short pause signals composure and care, while rushing often leads to words you regret. For example, when your boss asks a tough question, take that one beat, quietly repeat the question in your head, and then answer with intention. The common mistake is believing the pause makes you look unsure. But remember, that silence feels far longer to you than to anyone else. So protect your pause. It's where your calmest, wisest self speaks from.
And the final step. Bring it home, Mia.
Step 4, speak with structure, then land gently. When it's your turn to share, use the simple what, so what, now what map to stay clear and avoid rambling. This works because structure makes you sound confident and respects the listener's time. Remember, the gift, not the mountain of wrapping paper. For example, share your idea, say why it matters to them, then suggest a next step. And when the conversation naturally ends, begin your gentle landing. Say you're leaving, but offer one last warm question. The common mistake is the abrupt bathroom escape, which feels cold. So end with kindness, and you'll leave a lasting positive impression.
That's a complete toolkit. Honestly, if I'd known all this last Tuesday, I wouldn't have hidden in that corner with my work things.
You'll be ready next time, Leo. And so will all of you listening. Remember, this is a practice, not a performance.
All right, peak performers, you know what time it is. It's time for our extended vocabulary corner. Let's lock in 5 powerful words from today so your English climbs higher and higher.
My favorite part. Word number 1, composure. Composure means staying calm and in control, especially in a stressful moment. Leo, give us an example.
Even when the interviewer asked a hard question, she kept her composure and answered slowly and clearly.
And mine. He lost his composure during the argument and started shouting, which he regretted later.
Great word. Word number 2, concise. To be concise means to say something using few, clear words, short but complete. Mia?
Please keep your email concise. My boss doesn't have time to read 3 long paragraphs.
And mine, his concise explanation took only 1 minute, but everyone understood it perfectly.
Word number 3, spontaneous. Spontaneous means happening naturally, in the moment, without planning. Leo, your turn.
We didn't plan anything. It was a spontaneous trip, and we just drove wherever the road took us.
And mine. I admire how spontaneous she is. She can start a fun conversation with anyone, anywhere.
Word number 4, paraphrase. To paraphrase means to repeat someone's idea in your own words to show you understood. Mia?
To check I understood my teacher, I would paraphrase her instructions back to her before starting the task.
And mine, instead of quoting the whole article, he paraphrased the main point in one simple sentence.
And our final word, number 5, momentum. Momentum means the energy or movement that keeps something going forward. Leo, bring us home.
After we started laughing together, the conversation had real momentum and just kept flowing easily.
And mine, once you finish your first small task in the morning, you build momentum and the rest of the day feels easier.
5 powerful new words. Say them out loud this week, peak performers. Composure, concise, spontaneous, paraphrase, momentum.
You did such great work today, everyone. You stayed with us, you listened deeply, and that's exactly the skill we practiced.
So here's the big lesson from today. Small talk isn't a test you can fail. It's a doorway you build together with another person. When you stop performing and start truly listening, the fear fades and real connection begins.
And please, be patient and gentle with yourself. You'll have awkward moments. Everyone does. A mistake isn't a failure, it's just a rough first draft, and you're always allowed to write the next one. Growth is slow, and that's completely okay. You're doing better than you think.
And tell us in the comments, what is the one conversation starter you're going to try this week, and where will you use it? We can't wait to read your comments and reply to you.
Subscribe, hit the bell, and start thinking deeper while you see higher. Keep learning, keep growing.
See you next week on Perspective Peak.
Perspective Peak. Leo and Mia, let's climb the